right? Everything has changed as of last Saturday. If I'm honest, even really before that, but definitely after last Saturday. So, let's talk about moving abroad. Let's talk about traveling abroad. What do you do in this new world we see ourselves in? The U.S. is at war. Um, if you've watched this channel, you've seen a lot of commentary about it recently. I've gone live. I've done various shorts and videos about it. It will definitely affect you if you are a Black woman who is moving or traveling abroad, if you've got family members who are moving and traveling abroad, right? So let's talk about it. Let's get into it first. My name is Tanisha Mercer. I help Black women solo travel and move abroad. I moved abroad almost 4 years ago. I live here in Paris, France. So make sure you click the subscribe button if you are not a member of this community. Click the subscribe button. That way you'll get access to um, first access to all of my going live, my videos, and all that good stuff in my content about my life here in France. But let's get it started. Make sure for those of you who are joining the chat, like, look, I haven't gone live in a while, y'all, and I'm trying to get back into the habit and swing of things. So, forgive me for I'm trying to get back into it. So, for those of you who are joining the chat, make sure you come on in, say hello, say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are on your side of the world. But definitely want to talk to you today about moving abroad, solo travel, what should you do? Everything is going to absolute shit in the last 8 days, right? Since Saturday. Life as we know it isn't quite the same. Travel as we know it isn't quite the same. You literally have 15,000 people stuck in the Middle East on cruise ships, right? You had people who were stuck in the Dubai airport, right? I think they're just starting to get out now. I'm going to do a video in the next couple of days talking about some travelers who were stuck in Dubai. But there were definitely a lot of people who are stuck and may still be stuck because I saw some videos earlier today about the Dubai International Airport and they're just opening that up, right? In some cases. I think there are still people stuck. But what do you do with the way the world is moving right now? With geopolitics, you still have the desire to perhaps solo travel, to move abroad. What do you do? What do you do? So, I'm going to start just real quick. Number one, you got to have your head on swivel when it comes to geopolitics. Because let me tell you something. You have got to know what is going on at all times. And I mean, you to be a serious follower of geopolitics, you can't just look at Fox News. Well, you're probably not looking at Fox News. Maybe you are, but if you're following this channel, you're probably not. Hey, Alicia, is it Alicia or Alicia? Hey, Alicia. Good morning. Um, but you really have to follow geopolitics, and to follow geopolitics, you're really going to have to look at beyond the U.S. media because the U.S. media really isn't telling the whole damn thing. And I say that as a journalist for like almost 20 years. The media that I came up in, okay, and cut my teeth on is not the same media of today. It's very much corporate influence, Trump influenced, all of that stuff. So the media landscape is totally different. You've got to follow some different international sources. I'm talking about Al Jazeera News. I'm talking about the Times of India, for example, Korean media, uh, Chinese media, perhaps. We know that there's a level of propaganda in most things, right? Even in US media, there is a level of propaganda. We know this. But even Russian media, right? Like you may need to follow some Russian media because I promise you, all of what's going on right now, we're only hearing about a very small number of military servicemen and women who have unfortunately lost their lives due to this U.S. conflict in Iran, U.S. Israeli conflict in Iran, right? But if you look at international media, if you look at some other sources, if you get out of NBC's, MSNBC, CNN, all that stuff, you start to see that it's more than what is being reported. If you look at YouTube, TikTok, okay, some other media sources, you find out that there are probably more people who have been hurt and unalive than what is being reported. This is the reason why you have got to, geopolitics is going to be key. Like, you have got to know what's going on, and you've got to know what's going on and how that's going to affect two things. Number one, your money, foreign currency, baby. You need to know, okay, with what is going on right now in the Middle East, everything is up for grabs, right? And people are wondering, do I still move? Do I still go? My quick answer to that is it depends. And it depends on you. No one can fully answer that question for you. Now, if 2 weeks ago you said you were planning on going to Dubai, for example, to speak English or perhaps work in the hospitality industry, your life has suddenly changed, right? Like, let's be real. We not doing that. Um, but the pathways that many people have used have included, going to the UAE in the Middle East to teach English, for example. They have included being in the tech space, right? To contract work in the tech space. These are ways that people have moved to different areas and funded those ventures, especially if you were in tech. Now, if you were in tech on the government contracting side, there was money to be made. Okay. Good morning. Is it Sony? Good morning, Sony Sue. Good morning. There was money to be made. I mean, there was free housing, free food. You were able to save a grip. Okay. You were able to deposit your checks in the bank essentially. But now everything has changed. The US is at war, right? The US, this is a war the US started, let's be clear. Okay? This is a war the US has started. And as a result, we're going to see some geopolitical earthquakes, right? Areas we thought were safe regions are no longer safe regions. You literally have like Spain. Countries like Spain are like, hold on, we're not involved in this, right? You got countries like Sri Lanka, right, who are involved unnecessarily. People unfortunately lost their lives on a ship in Sri Lanka. My daughter was just in Sri Lanka 4 months ago. So suddenly you have areas that we thought were quote unquote safe that are no longer safe. You have alliances that were built over 100 years, right? That are now no longer, the alliances are not happening, right? You've got France, where I am. France is officially condemning the U.S. attacks on Iran, right? And but at the same time, they're like, okay, hold on, we're not quite. Mm-mm. A lot of the EU countries are, because that oil is not coming through the Strait of Hormuz, right? Every country could be affected. You've got, in the US, oil prices have jumped dramatically, and it's expected that it can go even further, right? It could be catastrophic. You've got countries like Japan, they're saying they only have supplies for like the next 8 months or so. You've got other places that, look, the whole world depends on oil that's coming through the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran controls. So this is a global issue. This can affect you even if you do not leave your couch. Okay, this could still affect you. But what do you do if you are planning on solo traveling or moving abroad? Number one, I already told you, pay attention to geopolitics. Have it on your phone, your TV, your whatever, multiple sources, not just U.S. media, please. Okay. Secondly, you really have to look at the area where you're going to go to, because unfortunately we don't know where anything is going to happen. There is no glass, there is no crystal ball. We can't quite predict whatever. We just don't know. But you can be careful about where you are going and being considerate of some of the things that are going on. The challenge right now becomes some of the quote unquote expat friendly areas are now looking a little like, I don't know. Just yesterday, that man that y'all elected to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. When I say y'all, I mean like not me, right? Um, Literally said had a summit in Florida with leaders of countries like Venezuela, Argentina, and a few other countries, right, launching a military effort against the cartels. We know that Ecuador, their military operations right now in Ecuador, right? Who knows what else is next? Who knows what else is coming? Good morning. Is it Jean Francois? Good morning, Jean Francois. We don't know what this man has up his sleeve, and I don't even think he knows, right? But definitely areas that you thought were quote unquote safe for expats are now, it's no longer certain. If you had Central and South America perhaps on your list, you may need to reevaluate that, because literally he just told us yesterday that he is going to fight cartels, not with police action, with military action. That changes everything. I don't know about y'all, but I don't necessarily want to be in a place where, I mean, I'm a Detroit girl, okay? So I'm not trying to go to anywhere that is more unsafe. Detroit is a beautiful place. It is definitely safer than it was when I grew up. But I'm not trying to go anywhere where it is patently unsafe. I don't know about y'all. So it's really about really paying attention about where you want to go. What are your goals, right? Will you need more money? It's possibly. Detroit is in the building. Absolutely. Absolutely. 313. What up, though? Um, but yeah, it is definitely it's a challenge. So what do you want your life to look like? There's some questions, and no one can answer these questions for you. What do you want your life to look like? What your savings look like? Okay. Do you have a go bag? Are you able to move at a moment's notice? Do you have money to get out of the country if you need to quickly, or whatever country that you're in? Okay. Think about if you were in Dubai on Saturday. Now, we are seeing reports like some of the young ladies that I saw, um, Black American ladies that I saw, were saying they were now, I think they're in Australia now. So they're out of Dubai. They've gotten out and they're in Australia. But it's little things like you got travel insurance, okay? Do you got that Discover, Amex, Capital One, whatever? Do you got it ready? Because it may end up costing you. And definitely not leaving without travel insurance. I don't know what the particulars of travel insurance, like I believe it covers like acts of war, acts of God, or whatever, but you might need to read that policy, right? To be sure before you leave, right? Because yeah, yeah. So also looking at what is the political relationship with the US to the country that you're moving to. Okay. Like I said, right now Europe, the EU, where I'm here in France, right? And again, shout out to Mr. Parisian. Um, you know, the alliances that have been formed for decades and decades and decades now are people, these countries are basically like, no, we are not, look, we are not going to help the US. We are not involved in this. Okay. And everyone is worried about their oil. I get it. Because why should these other countries suffer when this is a US and Israel led war? These other countries are like, hold on, we don't have anything to do with that. We don't have anything to do with this. So what does that mean for you? I mean, for you, for me, if you're traveling, if you're solo traveling, yeah, like, or traveling with your family or whatever, some decisions might have to be made. Would I go to certain countries right now? You're going to have to think about that. Think about the number of conflicts that have happened in the last 3, 4 months, right? You had um, Venezuela conflict, right? You've got the Middle East, obviously now conflict. You've got Nigeria conflict. Before that, I think it was like Somalia, right? Conflict. We really, we cannot predict who and where is next, right? But I know that there are certain places that, yeah, I'm not. I'm going to be watching the travel advisories. I'm going to be, as much as the State Department did not help people, is not helping people get out of the Middle East or Israel. They are not helping U.S. citizens. What does this mean? It means that you're on your own, baby. You are on your own. And it's really interesting as an American citizen to say that, because the only thing that we've been taught that, okay, if you get into any trouble, if any, especially like military trouble, like where something jumps off, the government will help you. Well, the government under this particular president that folks elected said, no, 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 we're not helping you. You are on your own. Literally told Americans trapped in Israel that, look, there are buses available, but we will not recommend you do anything. We will not recommend. We will not recommend for you to get out. We will not help you get out. Is it Ella? Hey Ella, how are you? And who is this? Is it Adilson? Do I know or speak some word of Brazil? Do I know Portuguese? I know Bom dia. I don't know a lot of it, unfortunately. Um I think Bom dia is what, good morning, I think. I guess it's afternoon now. Is it afternoon there? So I'm not sure how I would say that. But hello, thank you for joining. Who else we got going on? We've got, is it Turk Hurt? Masura Parisian. You're looking to move to Paris before the year's end. Okay, good. Congratulations. Congratulations. Um, the one thing about it is the world isn't, it's a lot going on right now. We can't predict anything, right? Should you abandon your travel plans, right? You know, we really have to think about all those things. Hey, Randy from San Diego. Oh, the weather is beautiful there, I am sure. But hey, Randy. But yeah, Mr. Parisian is asking, saying his goal is to move to Paris before the year's end. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. The one thing about it is, again, we don't know what's going to happen 6 months to a year from now, right? We do know who's in office, but we don't know what's going to happen 6 months to or a year from now. Do you just say, like, no, I'm staying put? Or do you say, are you like Mr. Parisian over here? And are you like, I'm going? I'm still going to do what I set out to do. The plan is still moving. The plan is still in motion. Let's say you've already moved. What do you do? Do you go back to the US? What do you do? So Turk Kurt is saying, yes, be careful. Yes, we have to be very careful. Head on swivel, okay? Gotta be very careful for sure. For sure, for sure. That's definitely when we're traveling, to your point, we do have to be very careful and more alert and aware, because we don't know what's necessarily going to happen. A lot of countries are being drawn into this whole this military conflict, this war, right? We do have to be careful, and I do want to emphasize that, to your point. We have to be very, very careful. Um, oh, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I spent a little bit of time in Portugal. Definitely was a good trip of mine a couple years ago. And yeah, definitely I want to go back and also visit Brazil. Definitely want to go to Brazil. Oh, you're a reserve soldier, Turk Kurt. You're a reserve soldier. Okay, until what is that? It says 2038. Are you a soldier until 2038? That's a long time. Goodness, it's a long time. Um, Definitely safety to you as well. But yeah, we all got to be safe right now, and I don't. It's even hard to say how to do that, right? Because I know we were seeing reports in the last few months. I saw reports of American citizens saying like their passports were canceled while they were traveling. Um, what's going on with your passport? Is your passport? Do you, number one, do you have a passport if you're a U.S. citizen, for example? and this applies to U.S. citizens only. But do you have a passport? And no shame if you don't, no shade, because all of us have had to walk before we could crawl. So, do you have your passport? If you do have your passport, are you, if it expires in the next 12 months, are you making plans less than 12 months? Do you have plans to renew that passport? Because you need to be ready. You need to be ready. Sony Sue, yeah, most people travel with their hearts and forget to bring their brains with them. You are so right. Preparation is key. You got to use your head and your heart. You really do. And a lot of times I think it's because, when you travel, your guard tends to go down, unfortunately, right? You may be more careful at home, but when you get on that cruise ship, you get, around that water, that sunshine, you know, you start forgetting things, or you might start acting in ways that you would not act if you were at home. So you are right. Preparation is key. Preparation is key. Preparation is definitely key. It's all about, like I said, you get cash on hand, credit cards, go bag. Do you have extra copies of your passport? Right. Like, do you have a photo of your passport on your phone, email? You never know what's going to happen. What the money looking like, right? Are you prepared if you have to be in a hotel for a few extra days or weeks? We're seeing in Dubai, for example, the hotels, from what I have been hearing, they did not charge people for the extra stay. I can't say that would happen in the U.S. because the U.S. is like, no, you will pay this Sheraton bill, this Hyatt. Yeah, yeah, you're gonna pay for that. Marriott, you're gonna pay for that. Thank you. But yeah, it is about being prepared, being more prepared than we perhaps ever have had to be in modern day times, right? We haven't really had to deal with something. I don't know about y'all, but I'm 51, right? So we haven't had to deal with something like this for a while. It's been a few decades, right? And even before that, in like the 80s, right, when you had a lot of the conflicts in the Middle East, we haven't had to deal with certain things for a while. This is going to be a new normal for a lot of people, myself included. Even though I'm here in France, I mean, obviously, safety is paramount, right? My family is still in the U.S. I am talking to like my family more often to make sure everybody is good, right? To make sure everyone is good, because you got, you got ICE in the US. Now we're actively at war, right? Goods and services there are going up. um is it Adelson? I'm from the US. I am from the United States. But yeah, everything is more expensive. I'm from the U.S., but I live here in France. So yeah, everything is more expensive. The world is changing on us on a dime. We don't have anything. There's like this feeling of being out of control. So the one thing you can control though is if you move abroad or not, or you're going to be traveling abroad. Um, oh my goodness, gas it's going up a dollar. So how much is the gas? Where in your region where you are, how much is it? Is it like, I know I was in the US in September and I think gas was less. How much was it? It was definitely under 3, I want to say. So how much is gas where you are? Because if you were in California, gas is really high there. I mean, I've traveled there before and definitely more expensive. So how much are you paying for gasoline now? And they're saying that it's going to go up even more. And this is going to affect all of us. So even if you're like, okay, look, I don't drive, it doesn't matter. Are you getting Amazon packages? You're obviously buying stuff that's going to cost you. Those groceries are going to cost you more, right? Your goods and services are going to cost you more. UPS deliveries more. Oh, you're in Houston. Oh my God. 469 for premium. 359 last week. Oh my goodness. And I don't know about y'all, but the US economy, listen, everything is higher than giraffe coochie, as I like to call it. It's definitely high. People cannot afford to pay another dollar for gas. I mean, honestly, it's really expensive already. People are struggling already. And that's the thing. I think people, you know, one of the questions that I get, and Mr. Parisian, you're going to get this too when you move here. People always are like, well, why did you leave the U.S. Right? And I'm like, have you seen the inflation in the U.S.? Have you seen the cost of chicken wings? Okay, in the U.S., the cost of hamburger, eggs, like your basic stuff. I'm not even talking about like your filet mignon, your T-bone. I'm not talking about quote unquote luxury, right? Oxtail is a luxury. Okay. Um, but yeah, things are expensive. Every time, like when I was back in the US in September, I was there for like a month visiting my family and went to the grocery store. I was blown away. But every time I go back, I'm blown away of how expensive it is. And that doesn't mean that it's not inflation doesn't affect where I am. It does. But stuff will go up like 1 to 2 cents, like a little bit. You go to like I go to the grocery store maybe a year ago, eggs were like $1, like okay, a half a dozen of eggs were like maybe $1.02, right? They're really weird on the cents here. They'll do like, the US doesn't do that. We like the things to be like 99, right? 0.99. But yeah, eggs will be $1.03. Now they're like a dollar and 43, $1.21, right? So things are slowly kind of edge up. Um, hey Eleanor, how are you? I hope things are well. How are you? So gas is 2.58 at Costco. Costco used to be my place for gas and hot dogs. The little hot dog and soda combo too. I do miss that. I do miss it. See, Sonia is asking, with me living abroad, do I feel that I've got a community there that would be supportive if anything were to happen, as things may start to change, possibly for the worse? You know what? You're very right. There are a lot of Americans who are here. Um, I think that, to be honest with you, the French government began sending notices, and I got it by mail back in the summertime about how things can change and what to do potentially about having food on hand, preparedness. Um, that is an interesting question, though there is a there definitely is an American community here. The question is, what would happen? I mean, I'm an outsider technically. I'm a guest here. I'm a visitor here. So if something were to happen, where would I fit in that? That's a very good question. A very good question. Hey there, Barbara. How are you? It's good to see you. Straight out of DC. DC, what's up? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. I was like, let me get back on these lives because I need to start talking to folks again. Um, the next question is, do I find it difficult to find community there? It is difficult, not speaking the language, not being fluent. So that affects you, right? Because people, especially with French culture, they, you know, a lot can speak English, but they just don't. And and the sense of community helps when you're able to talk and conversate with them. So since my French, I'm working on it, y'all. I'm working on it. I'm able to understand more. My levels have improved. But if you ask me to have like a full blown conversation in French, I'm going to be using some French and some English. Some people don't like that. Some people are like, ugh, that causes people here in this culture to not necessarily be friends with you. I tend to be friends with expats, other people from other places, or people who are in France but have lived in other countries. So I think that is the hardest part about being here in this particular country and where I am. I am in Paris, so it is easier. I talked to someone yesterday who is in Lyon, and that is maybe like 3 4 hour train, like 3 hours away or so by train. And this person was saying that they rarely run into other Americans. This person is an American. He's an American. He's like, he rarely runs into other Americans where he is. And so for him, he's had to, of course, pick up the language. Me, it's definitely more of a crutch where there's enough English spoken here. So yeah, yep. Barbara, but definitely lives allow me to interact with y'all. You are so right. You are so right. And I used to do lives and I don't. And I'm like, let me get back to talking to the people. Let me get back. Mr. Parisian, yes. You know what? That is great advice for you. That's great that you're doing this. If I could do my thing over again, I would take those language classes before I moved because it will help you so much and you will be so much you'll be so far ahead, right? So congratulations to you. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So yeah, keep with those classes, everything that you're doing. I don't know whether you're watching Netflix in French or reading French books, magazines, whatever you're doing, watching French news, just practicing. Um, I wish I took my own advice, but yeah, if I had it to do over again, I would definitely focus more on the language before moving. So, but yeah, but like I said though, things are really changing by the minute, by the moment, and you really got to figure out what your plan is. There's some people who are going to say, you know what, I'm saying put. Hey, I respect it. I respect whatever your decision is. Okay, and there are other people who are like, you know what, I'm gonna move on ahead with the plans. I mean, unfortunately, this president, whatever, has gotten us into a conflict. Last week he said it was like, what, 4 or 5 weeks. This is gonna be a while. This is gonna be long lasting. I don't think 4 or 5 weeks is going to be. It's going to be a lot longer than that. So, how do you prepare for the long term? How do you prepare for the long term? Will it affect where you go, what your opportunities are? Again, last month, yeah, you might have said, I'm going to Dubai, I'm going to Oman, I'm going to Abu Dhabi to teach English, for example. I don't, you may not want to do that, right? It's not safe. Okay, it's not safe for you to do that. So it really depends on where you're going to go. You need to look at again, geopolitics. You need to be following geopolitical news, like your life depends on it, because it does. Geopolitical news and also financial news, right? Because these markets, baby, they if you're in the stock market this week was, oh baby, people lost some money. Okay, oil is through the roof. Unless you're an investor in oil and oil futures, it was rough. It was a rough week this week. Let's see. What do I find to be the most difficult aspect of learning French? Speaking it, reading it, knowing grammar rules, or anything else? Okay, all of the above. For me, I'm able to read it, and I'm texting a lot, so I'm able reading it is fine. Texting it is fine. But when it comes to speaking it, because literally what I'm seeing doesn't translate to what I'm speaking. So speaking it is really difficult. It's difficult for me sometimes most times to understand people as they're speaking. I know conversational French, so I know how to go in a restaurant and order. I know the basic things I need for my basic daily life, right? From my perception, for me to be fluent, it's going to be able to have a conversation completely in French, and about random everyday stuff, right? That to me is being completely fluent. I do practice every day. I either write or speak in French every day, right? But the hardest part to me is now also I don't know all the grammar rules, and it's hard for me because I literally communicate for a living in English, so it's difficult for me to like. I'm like, well, I sound like a toddler, right? I sound crazy, but because I don't know all the grammar rules. So all of those things are difficult. It's definitely easier for me to read it and write it than it is to speak it. Speaking it is very difficult. Most times I'm speaking to people, I'm like, can you say it? Can you please repeat that? Can you say it slower? I didn't get it. Or it's like, I know what it's like if they say, I've had people to literally type out what they're saying to me, and I could understand. I'm literally sitting right next to them, and they put it on the translator, and I know exactly what it is. But when they speak it, I'm lost. I'm lost. I'm lost. So yes, it's so many aspects to learning a language. A French friend told me, she's like, yeah, I think you're getting better. I think maybe, but it's again, my level of fluency is determined when I can have just a regular conversation with somebody. Um Yes. Thank you, Barbara, for the reminder. Barbara's like, please hit the like button. Yes. Listen to Barbara. Hit that like button, you guys. If you don't follow me, make sure you hit subscribe. Um, Definitely ask questions in the comments. I'm here. Let me know what questions you guys have about moving to France, if you've got them. Let me know if you've got questions about moving abroad, if you've got questions about traveling abroad. I love just the interaction in the community, right? Um, people here, we're talking to Mr. Parisian, for example, and Mr. Parisian is like, look, he's got a tutor. He is planning on moving to France by the end of the year. He's like, look, I don't care what's going on over whatever. I'm still moving. I love it. 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 But this live was basically I want to give credit. There was someone in the community on a live that I did about the whole Iran situation, and they mentioned that, and I don't have their name, so I apologize if they're watching. Thank you for the suggestion, but their comment was that um, them and their spouse, this person and their spouse, are moving abroad, and they're wondering what to do. They're reconsidering it, and I totally understand and I totally get it. Right? Always moving with safety involved. You know your own particular situation. There are people who their lives have changed dramatically, you know, as of last Saturday, right? So everyone has their own thing going on. Maybe you've got family members in the military. Now you need to be able to support them. For example, I don't know, maybe you're a grandparent, for example, and now maybe one of your kids is serving, and now you got to watch the grandkids, and you were planning on moving to, I don't know, Panama or wherever. What do you do? The grandkids, do you go with the grandkids where they can have a more stable thing? Do you send one grandparent? Would you stay, I go? Do you both go, for example? What do you do? um Mr. Parisian is saying, I'm a college professor. Yes. Oh, you teach English. Okay. I love it. Love it. um yeah, so you understand how the mind works and how the brain works as it relates to language, because it's definitely a disconnect for me. It's a disconnect. Yeah, when it comes to speaking it, and I think that's because the words that we see are just not. They're not. The rules are different. It's not pronounced the same, and like 30% of the English language is French words, but they're pronounced very differently. The definitions are different. um we don't use the words the same, so it's very different. um yes, and okay, I see what you're saying. Listen, you're out of here as soon as you're on the right path. On the right path. One thing I will say now, if you're looking, I don't know if you're looking for an attorney. If you are, click on the link in my channel description. I work with my visa attorney. Ilya Zlokazov um, is someone that I highly recommend. And if you click on the link, it's an affiliate link, and you'll be able to save 10%, right, on your services. But I've used him since 2022. I just got my visa renewed last month, right? So I've been here since then. And so yeah, if you're looking for an attorney, if you're not, I understand. But oh, okay, all right, thank you, thank you, thank you. He's a really good guy. Like, I don't, yeah, I top notch. I've had really good experiences working with him. No problems at all. But yeah, for me, again, because I don't know the language is, and I know some people are like, oh, you can do it yourself. You absolutely can do it yourself. But you know what? I don't know French. And I had so many issues because I tried at one point before I got him. I was trying to make the appointment, couldn't do it. I was like, what is going on? I can't even make the appointment on the US side to make the appointment to get with the document handlers. There's a company that handles the applications for your French visa, right? And they've got centers around the country. I think they have one in Houston. But I was in Atlanta, right? So they've got these document collection centers, and basically you need to make an appointment with them, and then you give all your documentation over, and then they hand that documentation over to the French embassies, right? The French embassy, and then they make the determination. So that's how that goes. But if you've got any questions, Mr. Parisian, definitely let me know. While you're in the live, let me know. Because yeah, it for me it took about, how long did it take? It took less than 10 days, 10, 11 days. That decision was there, and literally, they want you to have the health insurance, provide all the stuff they ask for, And I mean all the stuff they ask for: birth certificates, marriage certificates, if you need to, financial information. They want to know, right? They want to know all the things. So you need to have, of course, I'm sure you got to have all your stuff in a row, but as well as your French health insurance, right? Those are the important things. And when they say they want that certain amount, that's the amount that you got to have, and technically a little bit more if you can swing it a little bit more. But yeah, uh, according to my attorney, in the last year or so, well, the last couple years, he's been like, if you're an American, pretty much long as you got the things you need in order, then rubber stamp it. Now I don't know, right? Like now I don't think it's changed, but pretty much long as you got everything in order, you're good. But if you literally have one thing missing, they will reject you. So be very careful. That's another reason why an attorney for me was the only choice, because I'm like, I need somebody to make sure that I got what I need, right? I need somebody to make sure. Who is this Marclay? Who, Marclay? What's going on now? Why smell SSS? What's going on? What we talking about? Do we need to be blocked, or I want to make sure, because sometimes I had a lot, y'all. I had a live, and I even hate to admit this, but I had a live, and people were doing XOXO, but they were doing it like three X's or something, and I was like, what's going on right now? Because that means something else, right? It means something else, and I started blocking folks, and someone in the live was like, I don't think they mean that, like in that kind of way, because XXX means you know Um, but yeah, is it Marclay? What are we talking about? I don't know if you just made a mistake, or what's going on here, but I do like to ask to clarify. But yeah, as I was saying about that French visa, no matter where, yeah, Eleanor, that's what might need to happen, because I'm not sure exactly what is going on. We gonna put him in timeout. Yeah, time out, time out, time out. Um, yeah, rice paper flowers. Yeah, because look, I get distracted. I be like, what was I talking about? Anyway, Sony, that is how like, that's how you know that YouTube is doing what it needs to do. And it's like I explained to somebody yesterday, because I'm doing more political content. I'm doing more geopolitical content, right? But I'm trying to related to, of course, how it's going to affect my audience, which is you all. And I feel like my content has found the MAGA side of YouTube has found my content, because I literally had someone to say, that this military conflict, this war with Iran, that this is what this is what Trump wants, and we support him, and this is what's supposed to happen. And I'm like, you know what? You're not on the right side of you on the unsafe side. You're not safe over here. You're not safe. So and it's like I explain to people, when you leave comments on YouTube channels or any social media posts, the algorithm automatically says, oh, this is what you want to see. And it begins sending your stuff out to other people. So thank you for the comment, right? And every other post, everything else, he's like, oh, I'm trying to give you other perspectives. I don't, wait, hold on. What other perspectives are you trying to give me? Because I don't need other perspectives. I don't come on the MAGA side of YouTube and commenting on their stuff. Why would I? That would be a waste of time for me. So yeah, yeah. Barbara, you're absolutely right. Moderators, yeah, to monitor lives and check trolls. Yeah, unfortunately, it's me for now. So I'll be the one monitoring them. But you're right. The goal is for me to go on live more, and I have moderators over on my Facebook group, and they're wonderful. They honestly are. They're wonderful. I don't go live on there, but Facebook, I've got a team of moderators in my Facebook group, and so yeah, I definitely need to do that. Sony, yeah, it really has become a cesspool. Like I said, I mind my own business. I mind my black ass business over here on this side. I'm not wasting my time or energy arguing with anyone MAGA at all. But like I said, thank you for the engagement, right? And them talking tells YouTube this is a video that's important, and they spread out my content. But the whole premise, and I hope that he's watching. I hope that he's watching. His whole premise, giving me a different perspective. You know, um, this is what we want, and this is your opinion. I'm like, yeah, it's my opinion. You're literally on this channel. It is my opinion. I don't need other perspectives. Why would you try to convince me of other perspectives? Again, I'm not on News Now or Fox News or, you know, those other channels trying to convince anybody. Not at all. It's like it's a waste of time. There are people who do that. Okay, that's not my ministry, not my mission. Because I'm not trying to bring up my blood pressure. Coach Donna Marie, hello. Ooh, you studied French for over a decade and you're fluent. Okay. Atlanta, okay, ATL, okay, okay. Yes. You'll be able to pick it up very quickly. I am sure. You'll be able to pick it up. I think it's like, is it like riding a bike? I feel like it is. I feel like it is. You've got the foundation, which is excellent. You'll be able to get it, I'm sure. I'm sure. Good luck on your studying. I'm sure you'll be able to pick it up very quickly. Um, Mr. Parisian. Okay, how did I decide where to live? I'm gonna be honest with you. Like when I first moved here, I was just like, I just want to be in Paris, right? Didn't really, didn't think anything of it. But Paris is no different than Houston or Atlanta or LA, right? You got your areas where you want to be and where you don't want to be, or you have your preferences. So I think for me, um, I think if I were to do this over again, because how I did this was originally I tried to get a rental. This was before I moved. I was trying to get a property, rent a property outside of Paris, right outside of Paris, and in the Vincent area. And man, um, I was unable to get that property because they wanted a guarantor. And now, when you're trying to move here, when you're not trying to, when you're moving here, you're probably going to need a guarantor, right? There are no credit scores. They don't care about none of that. No credit report, none of that. So I missed out on the one property, which was perfect, right? Right outside of Paris, right on the metro line. Beautiful, beautiful property. I didn't get that because the person wanted a guarantor, and it's really competitive here. Really competitive to find a property. So what I ended up doing was at the time I moved in with my ex, and it was like, okay, I'll look for a place while I'm living with him, and that was the plan. And I did that, and it was just it was difficult. I think it's good to know, do your research on social media. There's certain areas some people are like, oh, this is a nice arrondissement. This is not convenient. You have to look at your personal choices. I have had Airbnbs all around Paris, like in and outside of Paris. So do your research. Barbara, thank you for that offer. Thank you so much. Good morning. Is it V Lynn? Good morning. Let's see. Coach Donna Marie is saying, watched the French award show. Jim Carrey spoke his entire. Oh, you know what? I tend to forget. Isn't he's from Canada, right? Is he from Montreal? Excuse me. It is so difficult, and it's so crazy because like the French people here, they're like, no, the French Canadians, they speak differently. I'm like, what? Like, oh, okay. Yeah, it's a little it's hard. It's hard to understand. But you know what? I think that once you like get into the practice, you'll be able to get it. Um Sony is saying securing housing as a foreigner. Yes, it is hard. The one thing about this channel is I never want to be like, everything is easy, because baby, it's not. It's not. I'm like, I'm a guest in these people country, and they could tell me tomorrow to go. Okay. Every time I get my visa renewed, I'm thankful because they don't have to do it. Okay. Um, yeah, it is a lot of times it's who you know, right? For me, I was really blessed. I had a really hard time. People either did not respond, and not that I'm expecting them to respond, but like if you post an ad, come on now. They would not respond. I would call, email, nothing. I even had people tell me, we do not want to rent to you. Yeah, we don't want to rent to you as an American. You're an American. I feel like you're gonna skip out. I'm like, in another country. Mm-mm. But I do understand. So I either had people who would call and it was suddenly not available, if you know what I'm saying. Or yeah, it was difficult with this particular place that I am in, is that the proprietor was like, "Do you like it?" Came to see it. He was like, "Do you like it?" I said, "Yes." He was like, "Okay, you got it." You really have to you The property owner has to like you. Really. That's how it works. They pick who they want. So that can be complicated. It's very different in the US, where we just go on a website and, see who has something for rent or work with the realtor. It is different, very different. Um Sony, you know what? It is a bit ridiculous, but at the same time, it makes my application stronger because here you have to have a dossier, and that dossier has to be strong. So essentially, what it is that that guarantor is saying that they will guarantee that rent if you don't pay it, and then that makes you look a little bit stronger than even French people, because for the most part, most Americans, I'm not saying all, but a lot of Americans are going to make more than the average French person. Right, that's the average. 90% of the population, like in France, for example, well, in Paris, for example, they're making like less than 4,000 euros per month. So, you know, most Americans who are traveling are making a lot more than that, right? So, um, Coach Donna Marie is saying, "Oh, Jim Carrey's grandfather. Oh, he was a French immigrant. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that." And Lynn is saying she's been taking, well, I'm sorry if you're, I can't tell if you're a she or he, I'm sorry. Um, Taking French lessons off and on. Looking forward to the day I can spend a month in France every year. Yes, I love it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's do it. Let's go. Do you want to spend time in Paris? Are you looking at the south of France? Where are you looking at spending time? I love it. I love it. I love the fact that like yourself, um, Mr. Parisian in the comments also saying that, y'all are practicing, y'all are doing the right things. I congratulate you all that you're definitely doing the right thing. But yeah, Mr. Parisian, yeah, that the you need the guarantor, unless you got to hook up. I mean, maybe, you got to hook up, you got to hook up, you got to use what use what you got. So Lynn is looking at the south of France. Okay, I love it. I love it. You know what? Uh, I get it. Definitely, if you listen, if you can keep the American job, definitely, absolutely do it. If you can work remotely, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. You will be balling over here. Honestly, your standard of life will change. Your socioeconomic class will change. Yeah, it will change. Honestly, it's cheaper to live here for the most part. Now, if you're in the south of France, it's different. Depends on where you are. I'm in Paris, so it's I would say my expenses are anywhere from 30 to 50% less. Some things are more expensive, but for the most part, it's cheaper to live here. Um, Eleanor is saying that it's very difficult to remove a tenant who doesn't pay. Yes, they're very particular for that reason. So the thing was that they looked at it like, oh, you're just going to skip off, right? As an American, and some people look at it that way. And you're right; their squatter laws are entirely different. They've gotten a little bit better, but yeah, people once listen. If I leave this door open and somebody comes in here, I will have hell getting them out. And I'm not even I'm the tenant, right? So yes, you're very, very correct and accurate on that, Eleanor. It is this is the reason why landlords are so picky about who they rent to, and also there is a shortage of properties. So even French people have a hard time. So I don't want to make like, oh, the red carpet should be opened up for me as an American. No, because again, I'm here visiting them. I don't want to say visit. I want to say, but I am a visitor, right? Do I want to be a resident? Yes, I do. Citizen, I'm thinking about it. But for now, I'm a visa holder. Do I want to be a long term resident? Absolutely. But I still know that, again, it is it. I know my status here. Okay, so yeah, it's very it can be very challenging for you to get a property, for anybody to get a property. So full disclosure, and again, on this channel, I'll try to keep it all the way real. There's definitely It's easy to romanticize France. Okay, I'll say it like that. Coach Donna Marie is saying she wants to visit Marseille. Yes, I love Marseille. Marseille is beautiful. You'll love it. Sony is saying, I always wondered about perfume, cologne prices. Are they cheaper? Do you still have to pay top dollar for those type of products now? It depends. So if you're doing like the custom perfumeries or whatever, it's gonna be a little different. But Chanel is going to be the same, around the same price anywhere, right? You're just going to pay in euros, um, depending upon how you pay, right? You can pay in euros or you can pay in USD. I recommend if you're going to whatever country you're going to, you pay in the local currency, right? If you can. So, it's not a big difference. I just think the difference is that you can get custom made perfumes here, right? And perfumes are such a big part of the culture. But basically, it's not going to be like a big cost savings. Whatever you're going to pay for Gucci, you know, Chanel, perfumes or whatever brand, it's going to be about the same. Um, Mr. Parisian, yeah, $1,500 car payment or insurance. Yes, that's a big savings. You are absolutely right. Now, I will admit, as a Detroit girl, I do miss my cars. I'm not gonna lie. Because I had two cars in Atlanta. I still have one vehicle in Atlanta. I'm trying to get rid of that now. But there are times I miss my car. I miss my car when the weather is horrible here, when it's cold, or when it's raining. But cars and car insurance is not. You can The prices are totally different. I decided not to get my license and not to do all that because I was like, I don't really need a car. Where I live in Paris. I'm not in central Paris, but I live in the city. So I can get around with my Metro Pass. My Metro Pass is like $89, I think, in 89.90 euro or something like that. Or no, maybe it went up. I think maybe now it's 90. But that's what I pay per month, and I'm able to get around all around the Parisian region, even outside of Paris, right? So I'm in zones. I get the one for zones 1 through 5. So for basically $90, okay, 90 euro, whatever you want to call it. That's my cost. So yeah, but I do understand you are saving on you know gas, maintenance, all of that stuff. The one thing you do have to it depends on which state you're coming from. I don't know about Texas, but I know where I came from, Georgia, they don't have the reciprocal agreement. So if you're from like a state like DC, for example, and there are about maybe like a half a dozen states to where you surrender your US license, they'll give you a French license. So, but you have 1 year until you move, you have 1 year. You have 1 year to get your license. Now, if you wait after that 1 year, then you're gonna have to take the written test, but then you're gonna have to take the road test. So what I recommend people do is to go to AAA, get your international driver's permit. It's like 30, it used to be $30. I don't know how much stuff is now, okay? But when I left, I think it was $30. And you go to your local AAA, you don't even have to be a member. You go there, bring your license, tell them you want the international driver's permit. That will allow you'll get it. It'll have your picture. It'll have a little like a placard that will allow you to drive in other countries. So before you go, you need to get that before you go. Okay. Um, and yeah, before you go, get that, and that way you can drive basically on your U.S. license. If you just want to, drive, you can rent a car, whatever you want to do. So make sure you do that at your AAA. Um, our winter's colder in Paris versus Detroit. Now, so okay, so I am a Detroit girly, but I lived in Atlanta for like 15 years. So my blood definitely thinned out. It is definitely mild winters here in Paris. Now, but it really does depend upon where you move in France, right? The winters here are they're okay. The winters in Atlanta, I feel like Atlanta and Houston have the same winter weather a little bit. Like it may be a little cold, get a little chilly, but it's sunny outside, right? It's mild. I got used to that. I think the winters here are very wet and damp and gray. So you don't have the sun. It's very different. Detroit is cold. It's just cold. There is no way it's not the same. And Detroit has snow. Paris does not have a lot of snow. We did have snow like 3 times this past winter, which was amazing because it was like twice in 1 week, which never happens. And when I say snow, we get like maybe like a couple inches and that's it. So usually no accumulation. So yeah, yeah. I heard the winter in Atlanta was rough in this year. Like my family's still there, my kids are there, so they would be like, "Ah, man, it's cold, it's freezing," and in some cases, it was colder there than it was here. So yeah, it winter in Atlanta this year was tough, definitely. Quiet, broad abroad. I was in Portugal for about 3 weeks. I was in Lisbon, and outside of Lisbon, I was in Alcochete, which is like on the coast. But yeah, I had a good time. I love the weather. The food was delicious. I was there in May, and went around like I went around all around the area. I also went to God, what is the menopause brain? We also went to this other place, this island in Portugal. Why can I not think of it? But I had a time. I had a time. Okay. I can't think of the name of the place, but yeah, I had a time. Really good time. Um, V-Land Smith. Okay, Detroit. Okay, okay. What up? What up, though? What up, though? Yeah, you know what? I was supposed to be in Detroit in January, early February, because all the things that were going on with the weather at that time, with that winter thing they had going on, I had to cancel that because I was like, you know what? I might need to stay. I might need to stay where I am. But yeah, I definitely my mom tells me all the time how cold it is there. And again, y'all, Detroit has that snow. So that's the one thing. We don't have that snow and ice here. Now again, depends on where you are, because if you in some other areas, oh, you in France, oh, you definitely got snow. But where I am, it's pretty cool. Um, hey, in my travels today, how are you? How are you? How are you? It's been a minute. I hope you are well. Coach Donna Marie. I do miss, I'm not gonna lie, I miss the ATL sunshine. I do miss it. I do miss it. I don't miss the weather in like July and August though. I will say that. But yeah, the ATL sunshine is absolutely amazing. And especially with me coming from Detroit where we have long gray winters, which are a lot like here in Paris. So yeah, yeah. Mr. Parisian says, I didn't go home for Thanksgiving, Christmas, or New Year's because of the snow. Listen, I get it. I get it. For me, I had a visa appointment and I could not afford to be like, I had a visa appointment that I had to make and I could not afford to be I couldn't reschedule that. So I was like, I cannot afford to get stuck. Could not afford to get stuck. So there were thousands of flights that were canceled here. And I know definitely in the US like 14,000 flights that were canceled. So yeah, it was a mess. It really was a mess. Um in my travels, okay, you'll be in France for a month. Okay, I love it. I love it. I know you'll have a great time. You'll have a great time. Let's see. Quiet Broad Abroad says, especially with some of the air travel staffing issues. Yeah, that too. It's a lot going on. And like when you're traveling, you really have to think about all those things. I just was not trying to, because I had that visa appointment, I could not risk. I was like, listen here, especially with all this going on with Trump, I was like, I need to make sure. I was like, nope, I'm not rescheduling. I got to make this appointment. Uh, no, no. Now, if there were any issues, it doesn't mean that I could not use my passport, my U.S. passport. But no, I was like, nope, I'm keeping my appointment. So, um, oh, you fly free. Listen, now you didn't say you fly free. Now you didn't say that, Mr. Parisian. See, see, listen, you get you out. I see. I can't even defend you. See, your mama is always right. Mama's right. I was right on this one. I'm sorry. Mama is right. You fly for free. Man, if you don't get on that plane, you don't get on that. But if you fly for free, you'll won't you be able, okay, so you fly, what do they call it? Res or whatever, or non-res or something. So what happens if would you have to wait if there's like a, some airlines issues in terms of like a flight availability, would you then have to wait? How would that go? But yeah, if you listen, if you can fly, if I can fly for free, I would never be home. I would never ever be home. I would be like, you know what? I want to go to Ghana for lunch. Like, I think next weekend, I don't know. I might want to go to Tahiti. I would be going everywhere. I'd be like wherever it flies, okay? Wherever it goes. I would be like, let me look on here. So yeah, you'd have to find another city or alternate route. I'm telling you, but those are good problems. Those are not bad problems. And I'm saying this as somebody who, I mean, I have friends who work for, certain airlines, but those are good problems to have, definitely. Listen, like I said, if I worked for the airlines, I would never be home. I would never be here. I would be gone all the time. I would be like, yeah, I went to Greece I went to Santorini for lunch, and then I decided to go to Venice for shopping next week, or I would go to Milan, and then I was like, yeah, I want to swing by. Maybe I want to go to Rwanda. I don't know. I would be everywhere. Cape Town. I would be all the places. Bali, everywhere, everywhere. I hear what you, okay. I hear what you're saying, Mr. Parisian. You said you didn't say you didn't travel. You said you don't go home. Now my mama does the same thing with me. So I get it. My mama's like, you go all these places, but you don't come home. So like I said, I know how mamas are. I know how mamas are. Oh, you have the hookup. Listen. You're off some prime time. Okay. I stand corrected. Mr. Parisian was like, listen, I didn't say I didn't travel. I just said I don't go home. I get it. Because going home is not like, it's not a vacation. I don't know about you, but it's not a vacation. Not at all. Um, V. Lynn Smith with the global, is global entry still shut down? See, you know what? I don't even have global entry. And people are often surprised when I say that, but I'm like, no, I don't have it. Like, I tried to get it before leaving Atlanta because when you're flying internationally or living internationally, it's not obviously a benefit. But I can never get an appointment. So I never did get it. Um, I know people are mad. I know people are upset. People are definitely upset because, look, I'm a type of traveler that I need to be there like 2 hours before, like minimum 2 hours before that plane leaves, 2 3 hours, right? International flight even more, right? So yeah, like I did not have the global entry, but I will admit, when I would get back to the US and I would be looking at that line and I would be like, man, if I had global entry, it would take me like 10 minutes. So I, I hate that it's not working for y'all, but it is shut down. That's crazy. So I know the lines are longer at the airport. Um, you know what? You're right, Mr. Parisian. American Express does cover the cost of that, and I need to put that into action. So first, I need to get make my appointment. That's what I need to do. Make my appointment so I can do it. Because ideally, I could have done it when I was there in the U.S. in September. I was there for a month because they say to do it once you come back in. I just didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't plan right. Did not plan right. Let's see. In my travels, TSA pre-check is included. No worries if you have global entry. It's the best thing. Yeah, yeah. I need to get with it. I definitely need to get things going and moving as it relates to that. So when I'm back in the US, I need to get those things straightened out. Hopefully things will be better as it relates to that, because I'm assuming they're not taking any applications and stuff for that. You can't do your screening interview. So So global entry plus TSA pre-check. Look, I need all of my because you never know. You never know when you might need to use that TSA pre-check. I like to be at the airport early so I don't have those problems. Because I have been running through the airport a few times, like almost missed my flight. Yeah, yeah. So I don't. Mm-mm. So now I've learned my lesson. So now I'm there extra early. Because I don't. Yeah, I don't want to play those games. So, but I think TSA pre-check is just good for your nerves, right? Like you're able to just breeze through, right? You're able to get where you need to go. You, Mr. Parisian, you run every time. Listen here, I was hyperventilating on the jet bridge, and I was like, you know what? Where did I go? It was a flight to Turkey, and I don't know why it took me so long. I flew out of Paris, out of Charles de Gaulle, and it just took me forever. I think it was where I flew Turkish Airlines, and they're like on this weird side of the airport, and not the priority like where Air France and Delta and KLM, all those folks are. And it was bad. I literally was running, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna miss my flight. It was bad. I'm like, oh, I don't like the stress. See, I can't. I don't do not like the stress. I was like, let me get myself together because about to have a panic attack, and I was like, you know what? If I don't get it together right now, these people are not going to let me on the plane. So yeah, I don't. I like to be, calm and collected or whatever. Okay, in my travels, that's what I may have to do. You book your appointment in another city. That's what I may have to do because Atlanta is hard to get an appointment for whatever reason. Um, VLIN is saying yes, extra early for domestic. Yes, yes. The flight out of the day, the first flight out of the day, less chance of being canceled most of the time. You are right about that one. Definitely right. It's a strategy involved. It is. It really is. Because yeah, I'm not trying to have those problems. I don't like the feeling of like missing my flight and then looking crazy and then I gotta rebook and then it's just no, it's too much. Too much, too much. In my travels today, saying you travel with carry-on baggage, so you walk off the plane. Oh, you have your face scanned by the machine. Oh, everyone else is in line. Ooh, see, we like perks and privileges. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Okay. I got to get on it. I got to get on it. Because, like I said, whenever I return to the US and I look at those lines, my daughter told me there's also this app that you can use that works in conjunction with the customs, with US Customs. And it does work, but you're able to, once you get to to the line, you're able to use the app and you have to download it before, I think, but you're able to get in quicker. My youngest daughter travels quite a bit internationally, and so she's used it and has been able to get, like, the line has been backed up and she's been able to get to breeze through. I know me, the last time that I went to the US, they didn't have no line. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? It was like no line, and I didn't even have to use because I was prepared to use the app, this particular app, and the line was really it was a worse line for if you were not a US citizen, which is rare, which is very rare. So I just walked up and walked right on through and I was like, yes, I loved it. Mr. Parisian says, every time I go to the Amex Lounge, yes, I love the Amex Lounge. You oversleep. The food and the drinks do it. You know what? And you are very comfortable too. Yeah, you got to be careful because they're gonna feed you. You have good food, good drinks. Yeah, 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 for sure. That lounge though, that lounge for real. That lounge is nice, 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 nice. Um, the lounge is nice for sure. So you guys make sure you like the live. How long have I been talking? Oh, 74 minutes. Okay, yeah. Oh, it's been quite a long time. I'm going to, but y'all, I'm going to try. The goal is for me to do more lives to kind of get back on the live routine, to talk to y'all, to see how y'all are doing. We can chat it up. You got questions. Let's go. Let's talk about it. 75. Ooh, 75 minutes I've been talking, running my mouth, and y'all are still here. Make sure you like the live, okay? like the live, subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed. Again, my goal is to go live more often, especially with all the stuff that we have going on right now. And for those of you, you already know, if you're traveling, be safe, be cautious, right? You know, we're going to get through all of this stuff that we got going on. We're going to get through it. It's I think it's just, it's a high level of anxiety, even with family members I was talking with. And it's like, I said, look, I feel anxiety being here because I'm not there. It's like they feel anxiety because of all the constant barrage of news and all of the stuff. And I get it. And it's like we feel anxiety for different reasons. And it's like, if I'm there, could I really do anything? Not really, right? Like, that's just my own thing, thinking that if I'm there, it would be easier. So, but I think it's important that we take like mental breaks. I was telling a friend, I was like, look, gotta take mental breaks, gotta sometimes just put down the phone. It's a lot going on, right? It's a lot going on. So yeah, I think it's important to have like just like real life conversations. Like, I'm about to get ready to get out of this house because I'm like, I'm trying to get out here and enjoy the day. It's a halfway decent day today. It's not sunny. It's in the, what is the temperature? Like, I think it's like in the lower 60s. It's a little bit chillier today. But yeah, I think it's important to like really connect with people, you know, talk to people, connect, like put the phone down. As much as I hate to say it, as much as I'm on my phone, you know, it's important to connect with people. We have a lot going on, and it's a lot. I mean, we're dealing with a lot, right? No matter where you live and no matter where you are, we're dealing with a lot. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Some people, we've got military service members who are serving abroad. Um, we don't know what's going on with this what we got ourselves involved in. Like I said, gas going up, all of that stuff, right? But yeah, I appreciate you all. You all definitely give me energy as well. Thank you, Vlin. I will definitely be doing more lives. Thank you. And definitely would love to cross paths with you for sure. Mr. Parisian, thank you for your time and for your conversation. Eleanor Matthews, thank you so much. Eleanor is my special friend. Thank you, Eleanor. You gifted me the tickets to the concert a while ago. Thank you so very much, featuring the honoring of Miss Josephine Baker. Thank you, Eleanor, so much for that. I really appreciate it. I could not get video or film of that because they were like, nope, no cameras. But thank you so much, Eleanor. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. But yeah, you guys, I'm going to get ready to go and enjoy the day. Make sure you like the live. Again, I'll be on here more. Thank you so much for your help and for your support. I really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure talking to you all. And stay tuned to more lives. Stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You already know what to do. Thanks again. I will talk to you later. You